Good morning, everyone. Boker Tov and Shabbat Shalom. I heard a story once that this fellow hears his friend talking to his wife on the phone, and he tells her, drop dead. And when he hangs up, he says to his friend, how could you talk that way to your wife? And he says, no, my wife asked me if I looked gorgeous last night in her new dress. So I said, yes, drop dead. Sometimes we hear a half a conversation, and we come to a conclusion, and we judge incorrectly. This week's Torah portion tells us 3 words. B'tzedek tishbot amitecha. With righteousness you shall judge your fellow man. And Rashi says that the interpretation and meaning is simple. Just judge people fairly, honestly, justly, righteously. But then Rashi says there's a second explanation. And that is, what does it mean to judge people with tzedek, with righteousness? It means judge them favorably. Always give people the benefit of the doubt. Always see the good in people, the positive, rather than the negative. As someone once said, what you focus on grows. If you focus on the good, that's what will grow and develop. You will draw out more of their goodness. But if you focus on what is wrong, then that is what will grow. We all have a choice every day to see the good in someone or the bad in someone. And to judge people favorably, to be a real friend, is to see the good in people, not the bad. Sometimes it just comes down to shifting our perspective. There's a story told that a man once came into a Chabad house and he saw a fellow in the back who wasn't praying. He was reading the local newspaper in flip-flops and shorts. And he said to the Rabbi, what's with this guy here? Comes to the synagogue and reads the newspaper? And the rabbi says, when I don't have a minyan, when I'm short a 10th man, he's a nice Jewish guy, he lives down the block. I knock on his door, I say, we need a 10th man. He comes over, but he sits with his newspaper and reads the paper. This man was very incensed. And he wrote a letter to the Lubavitcher Rabbi, and he said, I went to a synagogue, and I saw a Jew sitting with a newspaper with flip-flops and shorts. He wasn't praying, just sitting there answering Amen. How could this be in a Chabad house? The Rebbe said to him, instead of looking at this Jew the way you're looking at him, look at it this way. Here is a Jew who doesn't know how to pray. He can't read Hebrew. And maybe he doesn't even necessarily believe in God. But when the rabbi comes and says, I need someone to help make the minyan so 9 other Jews can pray, he's willing to come out of his home to the synagogue and participate to do the mitzvah of helping others. Look at this Jew for how good he is, rather than how bad he is. B'tzedek tishbot amisecha, always see the good, and that's righteousness, and that's what it means to be a good neighbor and a good friend. Have a wonderful day and a good Shabbos.